Yo, this is Jay for Straight Smoke Gaming, and tomorrow is Thanksgiving, which means there are going to be 3 football games. And those 3 games are the Bears versus the Lions, the Cowboys versus the Raiders, and the Saints versus the Bills. We're doing the Thursday night Sims. We normally do only one team, but we're going to cover all the games here. Because why not? I mean, there's 3 games. It's Thanksgiving. This is normally a big week for football, so we're going to do it all. We're going to give you guys all of it. So let's get right into the channel picks here. And I take the Lions, Cowboys, and Saints to win. Orb takes the Bears, Cowboys, and Bills to win. And Ovi picks the Lions, Raiders, and Saints to win. Now let's get right into the stats for the Lions game. Jared Goff is questionable to play. I believe he will play. Justin Fields is already ruled as doubtful, so I did this sim with Andy Dalton rather than Fields just to make it more accurate because chances are Fields is not playing. Jared Goff had 260 yards passing, 1 touchdown, 1.3 interceptions. That's a rough game stat-wise. Andy Dalton, 260 yards passing, 2.3 touchdowns, and 0.7 interceptions. That game is really not that bad, especially for Andy Dalton. He was a backup quarterback, so I mean, personally, I'd be surprised. I do not think Andy Dalton's that good. DeAndre Swift on the ground had 75 yards rushing, 1 touchdown, and 0 fumbles. Pretty good game rushing, honestly, I would say. Because there's obviously going to be other backs that get in and get touches, so chances are this could be well over 100 yards rushing for the team. David Montgomery, on the other hand, only 63 yards rushing, 0.3 touchdowns, and 0 fumbles. That is rough. Could even get over 70 yards rushing, and you could not get in the end zone. That is rough. I thought it was interesting here because the Bears have the better pass game, but a rough run game, and the Lions have a better run game, but a rough pass game. I thought that was something weird. I was just going to point that out real quick. For the Lions, their 3 big games at wide receiver is Khalif Raymond, T.J. Hawkinson, and Josh Reynolds. These guys, they stood out the most when I was doing the Sims. That's what they considered a big game. They had the best games out of the 7 games. They popped up the most with the more yards, touchdowns, all that. For the Bears, their big games are Allen Robinson, Darnell Mooney, and Cole Kmet. The game, Madden has it predicting to be 28-19 Bears win, with the Bears winning 5 of the 7 games that we simmed. For the next game, we got the Cowboys versus the Raiders. Dak Prescott, 287 yards passing, 2.4 touchdowns, and 0.3 interceptions. Pretty good game. Considering what he did last week, he's looking to bounce back. Derek Carr, his stats were 297 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1.1 interceptions. The interceptions are a little bit high. I do not think he will throw that many interceptions. I don't even think he'll throw an interception. I think he'll be smart with the ball, and I think the Raiders could actually come back and win this. The reason I say that, there's no Amari Cooper. CeeDee Lamb might not even be playing. Who knows? He has a concussion. Amari Cooper's on the COVID list. They're missing 2 of their best weapons on offense. That's definitely going to help. The Raiders are going to rely more on the run game. Speaking of the run game, let's go look at Ezekiel Elliott's stats. 92 yards on the ground, 0.7 touchdowns, and 0.4 fumbles. Or 0.9 touchdowns, 0.4 fumbles. But, that's totally makes sense. Zeke has a fumbling problem. He proved that last year. I could totally see him getting in the end zone, too. I could totally see him get a bunch of yards. This is being a run-heavy game with possibly missing their 2 best weapons. Jacobs, on the other hand, only had 62 yards, 0.6 touchdowns, and no fumbles. That's a little rough. He's going to need to play a lot better if they're going to have a chance to win this game against the Cowboys. Receiving-wise, their big games for the Cowboys came from Gallup and Michael Gallup, Cedric Wilson, and Dalton Schultz, my bad. I don't know why I said Dawson. But, yeah, those are their big games. CeeDee Lamb had 4 of 7 big games, but who knows, he might not play, so I did not mention him. For the Raiders, their big games came from Zay Jones, Bryan Edwards, and Darren Waller, all having 6 or 7 big games. Hunter Renfrow only had 3 of 7, which was a little surprising. I could totally see him putting up better stats. The game results prediction is from Madden. 32-24, Cowboys winning 5 of 7 games. For the last game, we got the Saints versus the Bills, and let's get right into the stats here. Trevor Siemian is starting because if you didn't know, Jameis Winston's hurt. I'm sure you guys already know that. That's old news. But anyway, Siemian plays like a stud here. Averages 370 yards per game, 2.3 touchdowns, and 1.3 interceptions. The interceptions a little much, but those yards and touchdowns, that's crazy considering he was a backup coming in this year. Josh Allen only averages 285 yards, 1.7 and 0.7 interceptions through the 7-game sim. That is pretty rough considering Trevor Siemian averages more yards and more touchdowns than Allen in the 7-game sim. On the ground, in case you guys did not know, Alvin Kamara has already been ruled out for tomorrow. That sucks. He's the Saints' best player this year. Mark Ingram is questionable with a knee injury, I think it was. I'm not really sure. I just know he's questionable. So I went ahead and used Tony Jones just to play it safe, make it as accurate as it can be. 42 yards on the ground for Tony Jones, 0.6 touchdowns and 0 fumbles. Not good rushing, really rough run game. You can see in the Siemian stats with 370 yards passing, they're going to be relying a lot on the passing game, according to Madden. Same thing with Devin Singletary. Only 54 yards on the ground, 0.3 touchdowns, and no fumbles. Josh Allen was 15 yards off a 300-yard passing game, so they're saying it's going to be passing game too for them. For the big games for the Saints, we got Deontay Harris was 6 of 7, Adam Troutman was 6 of 7, and Marquez Callaway was 7 of 7 big games. And for the Bills, we have Emmanuel Sanders with 6 of 7, and then Cole Beasley, Stephon Diggs, and Dawson Knox with each 5 of 7 big games. And they have the score prediction being 30-21 Saints over the Bills, with the Saints winning 5 of the 7 games. A little weird. I'm just going to point something out. Through these 7-game sims for each week, or this week, each of the games, the winning team has had 5 of 7 wins. So that, I don't know, that's something weird. But yeah, that's all we got for the video here. Remember, if you enjoy, please remember to like and sub as it helps us out. We have GTA, Madden, and Red Dead content. And happy Thanksgiving, guys. We'll see you in the next video.